Hi, I'm Sam.
I'm Rob, and this is Rodney.
We're the owners of Gorgeous Brewery.
I'd say yes. Yeah, our grandmother was brought up in a pub. Our great-grandparents ran a pub in Herne Hill called the Herne Arms. And yeah, it's always been in generations of our family.
Pretty much raised to love beer. It all started when Rob took over the Bull pub up here in Highgate. There was some brew kit that was already here. There was a brewer. We started playing around and pretty soon figured out that we had something pretty good. All of the local punters were loving the beer. Very soon after, we decided to build this brewery and brand it up and really have a go at it.
It stands for the drinker's beer, so we've always approached beer from a drinker first perspective, because obviously I've been more a publican than I have been a brewer, and so I can see it from the publican's perspective, the drinker's perspective, so we've got that automatic feedback from our people and our guests. So I think it stands for that, the gorgeous pint being in the drinker's hand rather than anything else.
Exactly, beer should be gorgeous, like that's just what it should be. People should grab a hold of it and be like, that's a gorgeous pint. So the name Gorgeous was just swirling around. It was a word our grandma always used to describe beer, and Rob's first pub was in Hackney, and people there would always come in wanting a gorgeous pint. So it just felt like the obvious name when it really came down to it. And then when we realised that Gorgeous Brewery made a GB, we really loved that from a heritage standpoint as well. That's my fault. That was because we were Gorgeous Brewery, and I was just thinking about all the different names of our beers, and I just thought, why not have them all start with a G? It also gives us a naming convention and a place to start off with all of them. Rob was worried there wouldn't be enough G words.
There are.
There are.
I'll probably say one of mine. I've got two, a Guzzler, a lager, and Goofy Hoof, the Pacific Pale. I like a nice fruity light beer. I'm not such a heavy beer drinker, so those two for me are perfect. Like anything that's like a crisp, slightly fruity flavour in beer for me is perfect, and those two are them.
My favourite is there's a few. No, okay. Right now my favourite's Greaseball. I can't get enough of that. It's the hoppiest of all of our beers. It's also the strongest in terms of ABV, which isn't super high because we keep all of our beers very sessionable, but it's just very flavourful, and for me right now it goes down very easily.
Goofy Hoof, the Pacific Pale.
Yeah, it flies. Everybody just can't get enough of it.
We had to not have it on in the pub for a while because we sold so much throughout the brew. It's mad.
Pretty much a group conversation with us and the brewers.
We all just sort of sit down, think, like when it comes to the point where we want to add something to the list, we sort of sit down, talk about what we like the sound of, anything we've tried, anything we want to do, and it just sort of comes out of the conversation. And
then we trial it out on the pilot kit. We've got a very small pilot kit here, and we see what works. We hope to keep growing. We just want to have more and more people drinking gorgeous beers. We want to make sure we always retain our craftness and our quality, but we really do want to grow and get bigger and be able to get more and more of our products out there to people. Rob.
I just had a daughter 3 weeks ago, so yeah, she's not ready yet, but hopefully soon.
Very soon.
We'll be training her up.
She'll be labelling as soon as she can,
absolutely,
right?
Yeah. Terrible, let me talk about
God!
It's been good, it's been great. It's, brother and sister is different. And so we're always going to argue, we're always going to have more passionate opinions than maybe you would in a different setting. But we always seem to eventually come to an agreement. Like we always eventually come to the agreement.
Ultimately, however much we fight, we've got each other's backs.
Exactly. And we always end up on the same page anyway.
We're always going towards the same place.
So it's been good. It's been an experience, but a good one.
Got to have passion for it. It's not easy. It's definitely a slog. It's worth it, but you can't do this if you don't love it.
Yeah, be open to I was going to say criticism. Be open to feedback. Have confidence in what it is you're doing, but at the same point, allow yourself to feel like you haven't done it perfect every time. The only request I can remember that we did was that Gunpowder, our IPA, is a cask beer we do, and someone really liked it and asked if we could do it as a keg product for them, just exclusively for them, which we did. But we don't. There's not been a massive amount of requests from us.
It's mostly if we've not got one of our beers on in the pub and people are missing it. The question is, when's that going to be back on? Definitely.
Very much so. Very much. I mean, we were, like we said, I started in the pub in Hackney and we were the hub of the community there. And then when we came here, I feel like we're doing exactly the same thing here. We've been from around this area our whole lives anyway, so it was really easy for me to feel like it. And now I feel like the pub has really created that sort of environment of community. People come by themselves, they have a conversation with strangers. Like, that's what pub, to me, should be about.
And the fact that we are a brewery associated with a pub, my favourite thing about that community aspect is, like, you can see we can literally just open the front of it. People sitting there can look in, see what we're doing. All of the locals, obviously not in COVID times, but normally are welcome to walk in, see what's going on, taste stuff if we've got it happening. And it also means that we have instant feedback on our beer. So we've got our whole community there ready to give us very honest feedback on how they feel about our products. And actually that is invaluable.
It's probably that probably harks back to our family again. I mean, like our grandparents, like my grandmother, was brought up in pubs. My grandfather wasn't. He was in a different business. But in terms of business, our family has always been in business. So we just look to them for advice and inspiration. And a great deal of respect for what they achieved and built in a very different time to what we're doing.
Yeah, our granddad. He worked in the fashion industry and dragged my grandma into that as well. But he started out when he was 14 with a stand on Brick Lane and just built an awesome business. And I think we really learned a lot of our work ethic from him. We wouldn't. We want it to still be going.
I don't want to resign ourselves to history yet. Well, shut up.